I'm Josh Evans, and I love to help businesses build the right culture within their organizations so they can be more profitable. Do you want more engaged employees? Do you want your company to be more productive? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to share with you the tools that I've used with hundreds of companies varying in size from 60,000 person conglomerates down to 5-person teams. So get ready and join me so we can build the right culture for your business.
Hey, I'm Josh Evans, and welcome back to my show. I'm so excited to have you here. So I want to throw this out to you, and hopefully you catch it, right? Waiting for the perfect time will always cost you more money. Waiting for the perfect time will always cost you, whether it's money or time or anything else, but waiting for the perfect time is a great excuse to procrastinate. I don't think we should be doing that. Now, I'm literally speaking this on April 15th, and I think it's a great day to talk about procrastination because how many people out there waited until today to file their taxes? I'm not going to say whether I did or didn't, but I did. Nevertheless, I think a lot of us wait until that perfect time to do all sorts of stuff. And so I've been meeting with organizations recently, and I met with the COO, and we had this conversation. He was like, well, we want to focus on culture, but we're waiting for the right time. When's the right time? He said, well, we want things to be perfect, right? He's like, we have a lot of moving parts. We're increasing the size of one of our departments, and we're going to bring in a new HR person. And he had a lot of excuses. They weren't reasons, but they were excuses about why they didn't want to move forward with really focusing on culture. But there's no perfect time. There's no perfect time. There's no time in any organization where, everything is running perfectly smooth. There's no upsets. Now's the time for us to fix our culture. Absolutely not. At any organization, you're going to have people coming and going. You're going to have departments getting bigger or getting smaller. You're going to have clients coming and going. You're going to have all sorts of moving parts at all times. There is no perfect time. If you wait for the perfect time, it's going to cost you money and time. It just is. Your effort's going to have to go up. The longer you wait to do something, the more money is going to be wasted. It just is. It's pure and simple. That's just what it is. I'll give you an example. So a few weeks ago, my Texas Tech Red Raiders, I shouldn't be wearing green talking about this, but my Texas Tech Red Raiders were in the Final Four. And it was the Friday before the game. Me and my father and my brother decided we're going to go up to Minneapolis to go watch the game. But we had waited so long. Flights were ridiculous. I'm talking, they were like 4-digit flights, right? I really paid thousands of dollars for flights in the U.S. It's crazy. We said, no, let's just go. But it costs us a ridiculous amount of money. Our waiting for the perfect time to make sure that they made it into the Final Four, to make sure we could go, cost us a lot more money in the short term, didn't it? All because we didn't think ahead, all because we were waiting, let's wait for the perfect time. And I was kind of waiting for the perfect time to ask my wife if I could go. I mean, she's 9 months pregnant, right? She's at like 37, 38 weeks now. She's 37 and a half weeks at the time. And so the perfect time doesn't exist for anything, whether it's implementing a new policy at your organization, booking a flight, hiring that new person. The perfect time doesn't exist. The perfect time doesn't exist for anybody to do anything. There's no perfect time. The thing is, we like procrastinating, don't we? It feels good to kind of push something off till later because it takes off your plate right now. The problem is that, I'll do it tomorrow. Right? And they have that phrase, south of where mañana. Tomorrow, we'll deal with it tomorrow. But tomorrow, there's a ridiculous amount of stuff that I have to do tomorrow, right? You push everything off until a single time, it's going to be overwhelming. Just like your taxes, just like anything else. If you put it off until like the last minute on anything, right? Well, I got to wait for the perfect time. I got to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. If you push it off like that, you're just going to be overwhelmed when you get to that point. And I love to talk about, and that's why it's so great to talk about procrastination on April 15th, because everybody I know, right, that didn't get their stuff done is doing it today is stressed out. Like, oh my gosh, I got to get all my paperwork together. I didn't file. Now I got to e-file. Now I got to download that certain product to make sure I can view the right viewer to view my digital tax form. It's crazy, okay? And we all know it's coming. It's not like a surprise that snuck up on us. No, we know every year it's due April 15th. We just push it off. And just like in people's organizations, I think we push off big sweeping leadership ideas in our organizations because it's easier to deal with the problems that we can see and that we can focus, that we can hold in our hands right in front of us, than to really dig in and look into the dark, right? And so while it's an interesting idea, I think procrastination itself is a form of laziness. You don't want to look at it now. It's easier not to look at it now. It's easier to push it off, right? But I'll tell you what, April 14th, Joshua does not like January 15th, Joshua, because January 15th, Joshua's like, yeah, I'll do my taxes in April. I'm going to go skiing. So putting stuff off is not a good thing. It's not. It's not. Waiting for the perfect time will cost you money. It just does. Waiting for the perfect time will cost you money. And if not money, it'll cost you time, which is essentially the same thing as money, right? Because the vast majority of us, we trade our time for money. And some of us trade our experience for money. But it's so silly to think about how everybody, I mean, not everybody, but the vast majority of the population today is freaking out. Because it's April 15th, and they all procrastinated. They all were waiting for the perfect time to do their taxes. And there's never a perfect time. There's never a perfect time. So it's another great example. So I told you, my wife's super pregnant right now, right? This is our third kid, and you have a tendency to kind of wait to do any of this stuff. Like with our first kid, we got everything prepared like 3-4 months early, right? Cleaned the house, we made sure everything was ready to go, and now this new one's coming. It's the third one, right? So it's a hat trick for us, which is great. But this third one, like, I really haven't even cleaned the sheets on the crib yet, and I mean, I'll get to it. Before the kid gets back to the house, they'll be cleaned. But I'm pushing it off, right? And I know that the day the kid's born, I'm going to be cursing myself right now because I'm like, oh man, I should have done all this stuff beforehand, right? Because hindsight's 20/20. And I see the same look on a lot of my clients' face where I go in there and we start working with their organization. They finally make the decision, right? And all of a sudden they see this huge shift in their employees. All of a sudden their employees, they love what they're doing. The energy builds and they go, oh my God, why didn't we do this before? Why didn't we have some sort of engagement program before? Why didn't we bring you in before? And I was like, well, you should have. But it's easier to push it off until it becomes a problem. Right? People, they don't think that they need it until they realize there's toxicity in their organization. And nobody wants to admit that there's toxic organizations out there. But I think there's a huge difference between organizations that are unbelievably fun to work at. And I don't mean that they just have fun, right? That it's all ping pong and free beer Thursdays. That's not what I'm talking about. The organizations where people actually care about what they're doing versus the people that are just doing it to get the paycheck. I talk all the time about don't hire mercenaries, right? People that are just in it for the money are never going to work hard enough to really appease you. People actually have to care. That's it. They have to care about your organization. And when's the best time to get your people to care? There's no perfect day. It's now. It's right now. The perfect time doesn't exist, okay? Waiting for the perfect time means you will never actually follow through with it until it's too late, right? Or it's gnawing at you, right? Like April 15th. I think too many of us think that procrastination doesn't have a cost to it, right? We're just pushing something off to later. But there's a huge cost associated. What about the opportunity loss? You're not even thinking about it. So all the statistics we've seen, right? All the numbers that come from Forbes and from the Gallup polls and from Harvard Business Review and the Wall Street Journal, all the numbers say, right, that organizations that have engaged employees are more profitable. They all say that not only they're more profitable, they're more productive, the retention's longer. Like there's huge benefits and huge opportunity for organizations to not only pay for whatever training or whatever time it takes to implement something, as far as company culture goes, but it'll actually pay you more in the long run, right? You'll actually make more. It's crazy to think that we are just putting it off thinking it's only going to be some sort of cost or expenditure, when in reality, focusing on your company's culture today will make you money tomorrow. And you waiting, right? You waiting for the perfect time, you procrastinating, doing something like this, it's preventing you from moving forward, right? Every day you waste today, right? Every day you waste in not doing it and putting it off, you're costing yourself money. That's what you're doing. You're essentially just costing yourself money. What they said, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is today. Why wouldn't you do something today that moves you in the right direction? Every organization knows they want engaged employees. Every organization thinks that culture is an important thing. It absolutely is. Very few are taking the steps and the initiatives today to do something about it. That's it. That's the sad reality of it, right? Is they're procrastinating. You shouldn't procrastinate, right? Waiting for the perfect time will cost you money. It just does. It does. Anyway, I know this is kind of a rant again, but I've been doing these rants and I love them. They're a lot more fun to do than the other structured podcasts I've been doing. So I'm just so happy that you're here on my podcast, you're listening, and you're just part of the experience. And so if you want to reach out sometime, I'm happy to chat with people. I love to interview people if people want to come on and talk about the best company culture experience they've had, or what they think, a good company culture looks like. I love those sorts of conversations because it's all part of the experience, right? Of life and of business, and our professional and personal lives have just they've blended together now. And so there really is no separation, right? We are but a person, right? We have but one life. We're not dealing with our professional life versus our personal life. And so I welcome all kinds of comments, all kinds of suggestions. Feel free to reach out, info@joshuamevans.com, or hit me up on social media @enthusiasticu. Hey, and if you like my podcast, if you like my energy, I'm happy to provide you and anybody you know with more of it. So go ahead and share this podcast with anybody you think would like it. Anyway, have a great day and be awesome. Later.